Yeah.
What is the best way for one to control their words when they might be upset?
Upset to yourself or upset to other people?
Maybe upset to other people.
Well, you have to be mindful. Think before you say. You have to know what you're thinking at the moment. And the way to be able to watch your thoughts is to develop mindfulness. If you have the mindfulness, then you will be aware of what you're thinking. And before you speak what you think, then you can decide first whether it's worthwhile or not. If it is harmful, then it's better not to speak. Then you can stop it. So what you need is to have mindfulness. Normally we don't have mindfulness. When we think, we just let it out right away. But with mindfulness, we will be watching our action, our three actions, our thought, our speech, and our body action. And the way to develop mindfulness is to be constantly focusing on your body action first. Keep watching your body. Like concentrate on what you do at the moment. Don't let your mind drift and think about other things. If it should go think about some other thing while you're doing something, then you should bring it back by reciting a mantra. You can use Bhutto, Bhutto, Buddha, Buddha. When you do this, you can stop your mind from wandering around. Bring it back to where the action is. That's the body. Focus on your bodily action. From the time you get up, as soon as you open up your eyes, you must start mindfulness right away. Be mindful with what you do with your body by not thinking about other things, by concentrating, focusing only on what you do. Such as when you're brushing your teeth, just concentrate on brushing your teeth. Don't think about work, don't think about play, don't think about anything. Should your mind stubborn and want to think, then you have to use the mantra to bring it back, to stop it. Recite a mantra, Buddha, Buddha, or Jesus, Jesus, whatever you want. A word, something to keep the mind from thinking about other things. This is the way to develop mindfulness. Eventually your mind will then stay put, won't be wandering around. It will be in the present most of the time, and it will know what the body is doing. And when you know what the body is doing, you will also know what your thought is thinking. Because you're watching, because you want to stop your thought from thinking aimlessly. So you're in the process of controlling your thoughts. So when you can control your thought, when you think and you want to say something or do something, then you can decide first whether it's good or not to do it, to say it. If it's not good to do or say it, then you can stop it. See? So mindfulness is very important too. It's the mind controller. The only thing that controls the mind is mindfulness. So you need to develop it, to have it all the time. Right now, sometimes we are mindful and sometimes we are not. When we are mindful, things seem to work well, going okay. But as soon as we lose mindfulness, then we let our emotion takes over. And then we start doing things that we will regret afterward. So we need to develop more mindfulness. Be constantly mindful, that's the goal. Continuous mindfulness. Then you will be able to control your thoughts and control your action that your thought command or direct the body to say or to do things. Then you will be able to direct the mind to think, the body to do and say things that you think is good, not hurting other people or yourself. If you don't know what kind of action is good or bad, then you have to study the law of karma. The law of karma is the law that tells you what kind of action is good, what kind of action is bad. Bad action is the action that you do through your body or speech that will hurt other people, harm other people. This is bad action. It can bring problem back to you sooner or later. Good action is, good karma is to do things that will benefit other people, make other people happy. And it will also bring benefit back to you. It will make you happy also. So this is basically what you should know about the law of karma. Then you will know when you think and what you want to say or do, whether it's good or bad karma. If you know it's bad karma, then you stop, don't do it. If it's good karma, then you let it go, let it do it. So this is basically what we're trying to achieve in our practice in Buddhism. Try to control our mind, our thought, our speech, and our body action. If we can control, then we will be behaving properly, correctly, and bring no harm to people or yourself. Okay? Another gentleman behind you. Okay.
We are
Yeah, that's better.
we are a very small sangha in Uruguay, growing, of maybe 25 people, and we are the only, I think, Buddhists in this country. So I'll ask you if you...
It's turned off again. Did you push some button? Maybe it's not good. Okay.
If you could send them a small message, how to practice, how to start doing meditation, and how to behave in life.
Well, they have to follow my talk in English. That's better, because I cannot just sit here and then try to think of something specific to talk about. It's better that they follow, and if they don't understand, they want more. Other thing, they can study from the scripture. Their website called Access to Insight, that have all the talks, all the teaching of the Buddha, Theravada tradition, called Access to Insight.
Right.
And you can search for that, and there's plenty of talks by the forest tradition masters, Ajahn, Ajahn, Mahabua, so forth. So it's better for them to go and study.
Right.
And if they want to know anything specific, then they can ask, watch YouTube, or send. We have an email they can send in questions by going to my website called prasuchart.com. That's a place where you can leave a comment, and then this question then will be asked during our question and answer session.
Right.
And then will be posted on the YouTube Dhamma in English channel. Then they can listen to that. Like what you mentioned a couple of days ago, we have just got it posted. You can look at it when you go home. And this talk also will be eventually posted when we collect enough questions and answers.
Okay. Another question would be, for a person that has a Western psychological studies and want to learn about Buddhist psychology, should she start with Abhidharma?
No, he should empty his mind. Like if you want to get a new cup of coffee, you have to throw away the old coffee in your cup. Because if you still have the old coffee and you mix with the new coffee, it doesn't taste good.
Okay.
If you want to have a new cup of coffee, hot and good, just throw away the old cup. You have to empty your mind, be open-minded.
Right.
Then you don't need to study the Abhidhamma. I think study the discourses of the Buddha is more useful. There's a few important discourses that you only have to study 2 or 3 of them. The first one is called the first discourse. He will talk about the 8 noble paths. And then the second one is about the 4 foundation of mindfulness.
Right.
And the third one is the 38 ways of making you happy,
You know that.
called Mangala Sutta, the Mangala Sutta. This, he will tell you how to conduct yourself in your life in order to bring happiness to yourself. 38 ways of making yourself happy, called the Mangala Sutta. These are the 3 important discourses that the Buddha gave. Once you have a clear picture of what his teaching is about, then you can search for more details about each individual points that he mentioned. But basically, he teaches us to make ourselves happy. And the way to make happy, the real happiness is inside us, not outside. If you keep pursuing things to make you happy, you will never find it. Because things tend to slip from your hand as soon as you get it. As soon as you get it, you feel happy for a few days, then it's gone. Then you have to get something else, something new. So this is not the kind of happiness that we should be pursuing. We should be pursuing the happiness that arises from peace of mind, through meditation, through the development of mindfulness. If you have mindfulness, then you can stop your thoughts. When your thought becomes still, then your mind will become peaceful and relaxed and happy. Then you don't need to have anything to make you happy. Okay?
Thank you very much.
E.M. Price, I need to find happiness and peace. How do I begin?
Well, there are 2 kinds of happiness and peace. The happiness you get from vacationing, you have some happiness and peace, but it's a temporary one and it's expensive. It costs a lot of money. The second one is cheap. You don't need any money. All you need is time and a quiet environment. If you can find a place where it's quiet, nothing can disturb your concentration. Then you try to concentrate your mind on one object, such as your breath. If you sit down, close your eyes, and keep concentrating on your breath. Don't let your mind think about other things. Eventually your mind will become peaceful and calm and happy. But this is easier said than done, because normally your mind, you won't have the ability to focus or concentrate on your breath for a long time. So if you cannot do this, then you must first develop mindfulness first. Try to focus your mind on one object all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, which is your body. Just keep focusing on what you're doing with your body. Don't let your mind think about something else at the same time. If you can do this, then you will be able to control your thought, your mind, from wandering around, from thinking aimlessly. If you can do this when you sit and meditate, focus your mind, your attention on your breath, then it will stay focusing on the breath. It won't go thinking about other things. And if this happens, in just a few minutes, your mind can become calm, peaceful, and happy. This is the better way, because you can always do it anytime, anywhere, and it doesn't cost you any money.
Hello, Ajahn. So how does an individual suffering from clinical depression use Buddhist principles for inner peace?
Well, you have to have mindfulness in order to stop your mind from, this all form of mental activities. If you have mindfulness, then your mind can become peaceful and calm. So you need to learn how to be mindful.
For example, for someone that would say that they're quite new to Buddhism and they have clinical depression. So how do they actually start to be more mindful?
You have what kind of depression?
Not me. I'm just asking from
What is
someone
the-
else on behalf of someone else.
What kind of depression you're talking about?
Clinical depression.
Clinical, you mean someone who has problem with the mental? Well, for people with mental problem, it's very difficult for them to be mindful, because the reason why they have mental problems is because they don't have mindfulness. So if they can somehow force themselves to practice mindfulness, then the depression will gradually disappear. See? So you just have to learn how to become mindful. There are many different ways of making yourself be mindful. You can use a mantra. You can keep reciting a mantra, Bhutto, 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 all the time. Stop your mind from thinking. Then your mind will gradually become calm and peaceful, and your depression will disappear. You'll become happy. The reason why you're depressed because you're not happy. And the reason why you are not happy is because your mind keeps thinking and wanting, desiring for things. When you cannot get what you want or desire for, then you become depressed, become unhappy. So if you can stop your mind from creating this desire, these cravings for things or people or anything, then your mind will become calm and peaceful, and then it will be happy. Yeah. Then you become normal, not depressed.
So what is the current Theravada stance on female nuns? Would they be considered equals or lesser compared to their male counterparts?
According to Theravada tradition, we don't have the ordination of bhikkhuni anymore, because it has been terminated many thousand years. See, the ordination of bhikkhuni only lasted about 1,000 years from the time of the Buddha. And once there is no more ordination, then you cannot restart it according to the instruction of the Buddha. Once there is no bhikkhuni sangha, you cannot ordain a bhikkhuni. You need to have the community of bhikkhuni in order to be able to initiate a new bhikkhuni. Yeah. It's the same way with the bhikkhu sangha. If somehow there isn't any more bhikkhu sangha left, then if you want to become a bhikkhu, you cannot become anymore. You need to have a bhikkhu sangha to ordain you, to make you to become a bhikkhu. So as far as Theravada is concerned, we don't have any bhikkhuni anymore. But for woman or lady who wants to practice, they can keep the 8 or the 10 precepts. And this will be sufficient for them to become enlightened. You don't need to become a bhikkhuni in order to become enlightened. You can still practice Dhamma, you can still meditate, you can still develop wisdom, insight to make you become enlightened. But I think the Mahayana tradition, they still have the ordination of bhikkhuni. So for women who wants to become bhikkhuni, they can go and become ordained in the Mahayana tradition.
So if one comes across a monk while traveling, either in the airport or bus station, so how can one assist him?
Well, it depends what he needs. If you see, you can ask him if there anything you can do for him, if you want to assist him. Yeah. If he say no thank you, then it's okay. Usually monks who travels, they usually have someone to go with them. If a monk wants to practice correctly, because the monk cannot carry money with him. So he has to have someone else to carry money for him. So usually he would have a lay person, a layman, who will accompany him when he travels, so that whatever he needs, he will have his lay person to do the thing for him. But if you feel like being charitable, you can give some donation to the person who accompanied the monk. You should not give the money directly to the monk.
Ajahn, square too. Is there a difference definition between good deed and wholesome deed?
Good deed,
Good deed and wholesome deed.
good karma and bad karma, same thing. Wholesome and good is the same word, same meaning. If it's good, it's wholesome. It's wholesome, it's good. So there's no difference.
There's no difference. Okay. And one more thing, like myself, my mother is a Taoist. I'm a Buddhist. So according to the Taoist belief, they like to keep things they even after they use it, they won't throw. So should I compromise with her as a son?
What do you have to compromise?
Because a lot of things that he use, like the clothes, everything, he will keep. Because she told me that she believe, I think she believe in afterlife. What she own now, it will be carried forward.
I see. Okay, just let she do what she believes, and you just do what you believe. There's no need to do the same thing, because you have different beliefs. So you follow your belief, and you let her follow her belief. Like you let other people do what they want to do. Because when you try to force people to do what you want to do and they don't want to do it, then there can be conflict here.
One more question, Ajahn. Is there a impermanent soul? If yes, how Ajahn define it?
What?
Impermanent soul.
So,
if there's
an impermanent soul, no, there's no such thing. The soul or the mind is permanent. See? Never disappear. Not like the body. See, the body is a composite of 4 elements. The 4 elements is also permanent, but when they combine, they become a human being, an animal, or a tree. Yeah? These are the composition of the 4 elements. The body, the human body, has 5 elements. The four earth, water, wind and fire, plus the knowing element, the mind. The mind is the knowing element. When they come together, you have a human being or an animal. And when they separate, then the 4 elements go, the 5 elements go the separate ways. The earth element go to rejoin the earth element. The water rejoin the water element. The air rejoin the air. The fire rejoin the fire. And the knowing element, which is the mind or the soul, then just go look for another 4 elements. Look for a new body. So the mind and all the elements, they are not destroyed. They are always there. They are not created nor destroyed. They have always been there. No beginning, no end for the 5 elements. Actually, the 6th element, there's another element called the space element. So these are the things that are neither created nor destroyed, but they form and combine and become something temporarily for a while, like the body. After a while, then they will separate and go back to their original state. Water will become water, will go back to become water. The earth part will become earth. If you when the body dies, if you leave it alone, the first thing that will leave the body is the heat, right? the fire element, and the air element. No more air going into the body. There will be just air coming out of the body. Then later on will be the water part that we will separate. Eventually the body will be dry and eventually decomposed and becomes earth. So there's no such thing as the impermanent soul. The mind is permanent, but the conditions of the mind is impermanent though. The mind has conditions like feelings and thinking and emotion. These things they change in the mind, but the mind itself is always there. But the content of the mind could be changing. Someday you are happy, someday you are sad, someday you feel like you are in heaven, and someday you feel like you are in hell. So these are the conditions inside the mind. They are changing. They will only stop changing if you have reached Nibbana. If you have reached Nibbana, then there will be no changing conditions in the mind. The mind will be will be like space, will be void, empty. Nibbana is the supreme emptiness, empty of all the emotions and feelings and. Okay.
Ajahn, how does one person get rid of fear?
Fear? Well, there are a couple ways. If you happen to be fearful, you can use the mantra to stop your fear. If you keep reciting the mantra and don't let your mind thinking about things that make you fearful, then when you don't think about the things that make you fearful, then the fear will disappear. Just keep reciting mantra, Bhutto, 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 or you can chant any chant you want. Because your fear arises from your thoughts. See? You keep thinking about ghosts, so then you think the ghost is coming. But if you stop thinking, like right now, you don't think about ghosts, right? So you're not afraid. But if you happen to be here alone at night, you start thinking, oh, there's ghosts around here, When you start thinking about ghosts, then you become afraid. So when you become afraid, the Buddha said you use chanting or you should recite a mantra to stop your thought from creating this fear. So when you can chant, then you will not be thinking about things that will make you afraid. Then the fear will disappear when your mind becomes calm. This is the first method. The second method is to use the truth to conquer the fear. What are you afraid of? The worst thing that can happen to you is death, right? And death you cannot run away from anywhere. Sooner or later you're gonna have to die. So if you accept, if this is the time for me to die, let it be. If you can accept death, then you will not be afraid of anything. So there are two methods that you can use to conquer fear.
Ajahn, if a person is bisexual, does it mean that it's due to his past karma?
Yes, because past karma, he used to be bisexual, so he continued to be so today. It's like you used to be left-handed, so you're still left-handed today. But you can change. If you don't want to be left-handed, you can try to learn to use your right hand. And if you keep using your right hand, eventually you'll become right-handed. So it's a matter of switching. You can switch. And people with bisexual, they can switch to become homosexual or be heterosexual. It's just a matter of your like or dislike. See, and you repeat your action. You keep repeating, doing the same thing, then it becomes a habit. This habit goes with the mind. It doesn't stay with the body. See, all that habit that you have, they come from the mind, so they go with the mind. The body is only an instrument of the mind. The mind uses the body but the habit is in the mind. If you're left-handed, it's in the mind. So when the mind has a body, it will keep using the left hand. If you're right-handed, when you have a body, you'll use the right hand. Same thing with what you like and dislike. This is also a habit. You like green color, you hate red color, for instance. But this thing you can change. Okay.
One more question. Ajahn, why some countries are so poor and yet the other is rich?
Well, this is just a matter of whether there is things for you to make yourself rich or poor. If you happen to be born in a place where there is no natural resources, then it's hard to be rich, because you need natural resources to make you rich. Besides having natural resources, you also have to have the capability to make use of these natural resources. If you don't have, like before in the Middle East, there's plenty of oil there, but the people who live there, they don't have the knowledge how to extract the oil from the ground. So they were poor. So they make the other people who has the knowledge rich. Like the people from America or Europe, they go to the Middle East and they buy the rights to drill oil, and then they become rich. But afterward, nowadays, the Middle Eastern people are rich now because they learn how to extract oil themselves. So they don't have to let other people do it for them. So it's a matter of whether you have natural resources available and you have the ability to make use of these natural resources.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Nobody else? You have any question? Okay. Send back.
So I'm trying to understand karma better, and I tried asking this question like a week ago, and the person who I was asking didn't understand, and I got confused asking it. So bear with me. I'm trying to understand if karma suggests like moral responsibility.
Yes, karma is about morality or immorality. If you do good karma, you have morality. If you do bad karma, then you have immorality. The way we define karma is good karma and bad karma is this: whatever you do through your thoughts, to your speech, or to your body, if it benefits people, then it's good karma. Benefit other people or yourself, and not hurting other people or yourself, then this is considered good karma. Any karma that you do that will hurt other people or yourself, then this is bad karma. So like when you kill, when you steal, when you're committing adultery, when you're lying, this is bad karma, bad action, because it hurt other people, and then it will then reflect and come back and hurt yourself also.
So are all bad things that happen? For example, I read your book and you were bit by a snake. Is this an example of something that is just the result of bad karma from a past life, or
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Things happen not only because of karma alone. There are other things that can make things happen. Natural phenomena like storms, like things that like storm, like flooding, or what you call famine. These are natural phenomena which also can hurt you. But this is not karma. See? This is the way the world. This is the way the world works. The way that the earth function. The earth has this changing condition, changing phenomena. So this is not karma. So you can be affected by either the natural conditions or by your own karma also. Karma is like when you... For me, I think my karma when I was bitten by the snake because I didn't use a flashlight. I walk in the dark. So when I didn't see the snake lying down, I could see barely, but if it's a big snake, I could see it, but this is a small snake. So I didn't see it. So I happened to walk so close to it that it bit me, that's all. So this is my bad karma because I'm not protecting myself, not looking after myself well enough because I didn't feel like using the flashlight. If I use the flashlight, then I might see the snake ahead, so then I can avoid from being bitten. So this is my karma, my action. So you have to see what happened due to your own action or due to somebody else's action.
So the crux of my question, I don't know if it totally relates to karma, but I guess it's more about morality and responsibility. If there is no self, there is no I, and I hear karma, people say karma is just cause and effect. If there's no I, and we are just a physical body, then who is doing the wrong act? Who?
Well, karma deals with the mind. See? The mind is the one who's doing the action. But the mind itself is not a self. But we call the mind self because it's just a self is a concept created by the mind. So the one who's doing the action is the mind. And the one who reaps the result of the action is the mind. When you do good karma, the mind feels happy. If the mind do bad karma, the mind feels unhappy. So this is the mind who is really being subjected to the law of karma, not the body. The body is only an instrument of the mind. Let me give you an example. If I drive a car, the driver and the car is two separate persons, right? Two separate entities. The driver is the one who drives the car. The car is just an instrument used by the driver. When the driver drives and hit somebody, die, it's not the car who has to pay the price, right? It's the driver. So it's the same way when the mind do something through the body. Like if the mind is the one who reaps the result. If the mind do bad karma, the mind will feel bad. If the mind do good karma, the mind will feel good. The body doesn't know anything. It's only like a car.
Okay, I don't want to take up any more time. This is like a conversation.
Yeah. This is not really important to know.
Brad, I just want to meditate.
What you want to know is how to make your mind happy. Once your mind is happy, you will understand that, all the things that you don't understand, it will become clear to you after you have studied the mind and know how to make your mind happy. And even when you are happy, if you don't know anything, it doesn't matter. Because what you know or what you don't know doesn't matter, so long as you are happy. Yeah.
Right. I just one more thing. I guess the reason that I think it is important, it's that coming from my perspective, I don't quite understand karma yet, and I view people as being either lucky or unlucky, and so this affects the way that we see one another, not necessarily someone who's done bad deeds in previous lives. It changes the way that I think you see other people around you. So that's why I ask.
Yes, the effect of karma goes beyond this life. It carries over to the next life, but it's very hard to explain it.
Okay.
But it's the content of your mind. See, that is the result of your good or bad karma. If you do bad karma, you have bad content. You have bad habit, have bad character. This carry over to your next life. When you're born the next life, if you have a bad character, you'll be doing bad things. If you have good character, you'll be doing good things. So this carries over to your next life.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Some more question? Okay.
Ajahn, if my boss asks me to get rid of the termite moles, do I get any karma on it?
Your boss asks you to do what?
To get rid of the termite moles.
Get rid of the termites, and you do it. If you do it, then you kill them, right? So you break the precept. So you're the one who do the bad karma, not your boss. But your boss also he also has to pay for the bad karma, because he's the one who tells you to do it. So it works. Either you do it yourself or you tell somebody else to do it. These are considered bad karma. So you shouldn't do it if you don't want to break the precept. You don't want to pay for the price later on.
But Ajahn, it's part of your, like, it's part of her job. How?
Change job.
Once, because it just once only.
Once it's like you only, so you pay one price. If you do twice, then you pay twice the. See, every karma you do, you will have to repay it somehow later on in your future lives.
Yeah, but we wipe out the whole colony of the termite. They put poison.
Yes, then you have to be reborn as many times as termites to pay for the number of termites you kill.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is the simple interpretation. The number of deaths that you cause will make you to pay the same price. If you kill 10 fishes, then you have to reborn as 10 fishes to be killed 10 times. If you kill human beings, you will be reborn and be killed by another human being.
So if in this case, if it's your own house, then if there's termite, then you need someone to come to get rid of it.
Well, if they volunteer, then it's not. You don't have to pay.
No, we pay to ask them to terminate them.
Yeah, but if you don't tell them, if you just let them know and they volunteer the service, then you don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you cannot tell them, please come and get rid of the termite. What you can do is you can tell them, I have termites in my house, and if he volunteer, I can do it for you. Then it's his business. You didn't tell him to do it.
Okay. That's
because he wants to. This is his way of making a living for him. So he's happy to do it. He's not afraid of the law of karma.
Ajahn, what happens like if my house got a lot of ants, lizards? How do I get rid of it?
Ants and
cockroaches.
Well, there's certain ways you have to search for the entrances. how they come in, and try to block those entrances and not let them come in. And you also have some chemical you can use to block the path of those. And if you know which way they come in, then you can maybe put some chemicals just to block the path, not to kill the ants. First you have to maybe sweep it away first, sweep the ants away. Then you put in some chemical to, when it smells the chemical, then it will not want to come in.
Okay.
But you should not kill them. If they're already inside, just if you can catch them, and you catch them and put them outside. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ajahn, if a person commits suicide in his previous life, and in this life, will he still continue? Because he won't remember what is past.
No, see, what you do is not memory. What you do becomes a habit, and a habit that will force upon you under the same conditions. See, in your past life, you kill yourself because you cannot solve your problem. So there is no other way. So you kill yourself by solving this problem. So in this life, if you happen to have this problem and you cannot solve, then you will do the same thing again. You will kill yourself again. See? Under the similar circumstances, you will react similarly the same way as you used to react. So in order to stop this cycle, that you should refrain from killing yourself. Try to find another way to solve your problem. The best way is to practice the Buddha's teaching. If you can meditate, you can calm your mind, then all your problem can be solved. Then you don't have to kill yourself.
So if we know that a person is having this condition, like, he or she feels that want to commit suicide, can we share with them the Buddha's teaching?
If they want to.
But because if they don't know, they got no way to go, and they are so lost and confused.
If they listen to you and follow what you say, then sure you can help them. But if they don't want to listen to you, what can you do?
So it'll be repeat, and they keep on repeating what they do.
Until eventually they break out of this circle one day. Maybe they somehow find somebody who can talk to them, and then teach them the new way of solving problem. Maybe you can help, try to talk to them, and if they can appreciate and they want to try to do it, then they might be able to break from this cycle. See, there are many ways of solving your problem. So people solve problem by taking drugs, drinking, or killing themselves, or meditate. So these are ways which we can solve our problem. The best way is to meditate, because there's no cost in this. You just stop your mind from thinking, stop your mind from desiring. Once your mind has no desire, then there's no disappointment, no sadness. So there's no need to kill yourself. The reason why you kill yourself because you're sad and you don't know how to get rid of your sadness. Some people get rid of the sadness by go drinking, by taking drugs, or by killing. But if you find Buddhism, you find a way to meditate, then you can get rid of your sadness by meditation. Then you don't need to drink, you don't need to take drugs, you don't need to kill yourself. When you are not happy, you just meditate. When you meditate, then you can become happy.
So just say when that same person is meditating, trying to meditate, and he or she feels very uncomfortable, like, they can't sit still. So that's
because they haven't enough mindfulness to refrain the mind from desiring. See, the mind constantly desiring to do this thing or that thing. The mind never wants to be still. So when you try to force it to become still, it resists. There's a friction which causes you to feel uncomfortable when you sit. So in order to sit and feel comfortable, you need to have mindfulness first. That's why you have to try to develop mindfulness all the time, not just during the time of your meditation. You should refrain your mind, develop mindfulness from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Do as much as possible. Like the easiest way is keep reciting a mantra. If you don't have to think about something necessary, then don't let your mind think aimlessly. Stop it by reciting a mantra. Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Whatever you do, eating, eating, walking, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, washing your face, get dressed. So whatever you do, if you don't have to think, stop it. Stop by using a mantra. Then you will have strong mindfulness. Then when you sit, you will feel comfortable. You don't feel, because you prevent your mind from desiring, from thinking. See? Your thinking is it's what makes your mind desire. You have to think first before you can desire. You have to think of coffee first before you can have the desire to drink coffee. But if you don't think of coffee, then you don't have any desire to drink coffee.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
So you need mindfulness before you can sit comfortably in meditation and make your mind becomes calm. Okay. Then you can solve all your problem. This is the best way of solving your problem. When you're not happy, when you're sad, when you're lonely, just meditate. And when your mind becomes calm, you become happy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? All right, sure. Okay, this will be the last question because we're running out of time. Okay.
I was just wondering if you could talk more about the mantra. I'm not familiar with the Buddha, and like, are you just saying it in your head, like Buddha, Buddha, like really fast?
Just reciting in your head, slow or fast, however you want it. This will prevent you from thinking about other things. Because your thoughts right now will create desire or cravings. And when you have desire or craving, your mind will become uncomfortable, uneasy. But if you can prevent your mind from thinking, from desiring, then your mind will become at ease and comfortable. So this is the purpose of a mantra or chanting, to prevent your mind from thinking and desiring, that's all. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'd just like to ask, is it true that the situations that happens in situations or events that happens in your life is due to your karma, and your actions will build your...
It's a combination. There's a combination of many other factors beside your karma. The economic situation is not your karma. The war of situation, the physical situation is usually not your karma. It's just the natural causes. It's the nature of the world that we live in. We have changing conditions, changing natural forces like the wind, the heat. So we got different kind of situations. This is not part of the karma. The karma is deal directly with us. How we react to the situation, this can be caused by our karma. If we have good karma, we'll react to the situation good. If we have bad karma, we will react badly. For instance, if we are put in a situation where we are starving, for instance, we need food, If you have good karma, you never steal, never do any bad karma. You will not solve your situation by doing bad karma. So this is what karma will comes into. How you will react to the situation that you are born, that you are in. It depends. Different people react differently. Some people react by doing bad karma. Some people react by not doing bad karma.
Thank you.
Like you, if you have no job, you have no food, you can either go steal or you can go become a monk. See, if you used to become a monk, you say, "Oh, it's easy for me to become a monk, so I go and become a monk. Then I can have plenty of food to eat." See? But if you were used to stealing in your past life, you will then react the same way that you did before. Then you will steal to solve your starvation, rather than going to become a monk. It depends on how you solve your situation in the past. This is your karma. It will come with you in this life and in the next life. But you can change your karma. If you used to steal and you say, "This is no good, maybe this time I should work instead of steal, work for some money," then you change your karma. So in your next life, you will, instead of stealing like you used to in this life or past life, you will not steal anymore, and then you'll go to work.
Thank you.
So this is what karma really affects, is your mind. How your mind will react to the.
So it doesn't affect like your birth, where you are born, and this
No, you cannot choose where you were born. You can choose generally. Generally, the Buddha said the effect of good karma will give you a good birth. You will live, maybe have a good family, have a wealthy family. But if you did bad karma, you might have to be born in a poor family. This can have effect on your birth, but you cannot pinpoint exactly where you want to be born. You want to be the son of Microsoft, or you want to be you cannot pinpoint, But generally, your good karma will make you to be born in a better situation than having bad karma.
Thank you.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Thank you for the time, Prachan. I want to ask regarding the in meditation, should the posture of the meditation is crossing legs or others posture?
Well, we have what you call ideal sitting position.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, it will be good for your meditation in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like sitting cross-legged, there's two types of cross-legged, half lotus and full lotus.
Mm-hmm.
In Thailand, we usually sit in a half lotus position because this is the balanced position for the body. You can sit for a long time that way. But when you start, if you cannot sit in the position, you can sit in any position you like. Sit on a chair, sit on a bed.
Okay.
But eventually, when you progress, when you move forward, you want to try to sit in the lotus position, because you'll find it more useful for your practice. But don't use it as an obstruction to your practice. When you start, you cannot sit in a lotus position, then just sit in any position you want. Just what's important is not the body position, it's the mind. Whether you can keep it still or not, keep it from thinking aimlessly or not. That's the purpose. So the goal is to first develop mindfulness, because mindfulness will be the one that can stop your thoughts. Once you can stop your thinking, when you sit down, you'll feel comfortable in whichever position you sit. If you cannot stop thinking, your mind will be desiring to go do something. Then you'll find sitting very uncomfortable. So the important is not the precision but mindfulness, the ability to stop your thoughts. If you can stop or reduce your thoughts, then when you sit you won't feel uneasy. The reason why you feel uneasy because your mind wants to go do something else, because it keeps thinking about something. Once it keeps thinking about something, that it wants to go do that something. So if you can stop it from thinking about anything, then it will sit down and won't have any desire to go do anything. Then you can sit and be still and calm very easily. So when you first start, if you cannot sit in a lotus position, then just sit in any position that you find comfortable. But they would not be comfortable after a while because they are not balanced position like the lotus position, when the weight of the body is equally distributed. Okay.
Yeah. I mostly meditate after chanting. Mostly I can focus my mind to the words come out from my mouth. Yeah. After that, when I feel already got the point, it means focus enough, then I continue to meditate. It is okay, or I have to stop meditation after finish all the chanting?
Well, chanting is a preliminary practice of mindfulness. See, sometimes when you start meditating, your mind still involved with other things that you did before, and you keep thinking about those things. So in order to get rid of those thoughts, you use chanting to help stop them. If you focus on your chanting, then you'll forget what you did before, so you won't be thinking about them. So once you can stop those thoughts, you can continue on by watching your breath. But if you don't have any thought when you start, you don't have to chant. If you can focus on your breath right away, you can then skip the chanting part. So it depends on the conditions of your mind at that time, whether it is still agitated or it is not. If it is not agitated, then you can focus on your breath right away. Then you can start meditating right away. But if you find you cannot focus on your breath because you still keep thinking about some other things, then you should do some chanting first. Do chant until you feel that all the thought that bothers you, your mind disappear. You forget about everything. Then you can then start meditation.
Just continue.
Right. You can do it in the position that you do for your meditation. And if you don't want to chant out loud, that would be better if you can chant mentally. It will be calmer that way, easier. But you can do either way. You can chant out loud or you can chant inside your mind. You achieve the same purpose, to stop your mind from thinking about other things.
Sometimes I read Ajahn books that we can chant mantra like Buddho, Buddho, Buddho.
Yes.
It is okay if I chant to Buddho, Dhamma, Sangha?
Yes, any kind of chant is possible. Whatever kind of chant you find you like, that you can do, because sometimes you like some chant, you don't like some other chant. So you pick the chant that you find you enjoy doing. Like songs you sing, sometimes you sing songs you like, songs you don't like, you don't sing. Chanting is just like that, just to get your mind away from thinking about other things, to bring your mind back to the present. Your mind tend to be in the past, thinking about what you did, or in the future, what you're gonna do. So your mind cannot focus on the present. You cannot watch your breath. So you have to stop your mind from going to the past or to the future by doing some kind of chant or mantra. Chanting is a long one. For people, sometimes using just a short mantra, they find it too repetitive, too boring. So they need something longer. Sometimes you can chant the whole sutta if you like. The Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. When I started, I chanted the Mahasatipatthana Sutta because I could not focus on my breath yet. So I spent about 40 minutes chanting about the Satipatthana Sutta. Then after that, my mind became calm and back in the present, not in the past or in the future. Then I can continue on watching my breath.
But most of the time, Prajam, when I cannot feel the breath anymore, means it's too delicate to count.
Then just watch the emptiness instead. Watch the mind instead. Watch whether you're thinking or not. If your mind starts to have any activity, you should use mindfulness to stop it.
It means we can concentrate on the calmness, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. If there's no breath, just concentrate on just the emptiness. Just watch the mind. Prevent it from doing any action. If it doesn't think, then just stay with the emptiness, and then eventually your mind will become calmer and maybe be fully calm. Don't worry about the breath if you cannot see it anymore, if you cannot feel it anymore. The Buddha just used the breath just to know what the breath is, whether it's short or long, coarse or subtle. Just know. Don't try to manage the breath. Leave it alone. If there's no breath to watch, then just watch no breath. Watch your mind. By that time you'll be able to see your mind. See whether your mind is thinking or not thinking. When it's thinking, you can use mindfulness to stop it right away. Or should there any images come up, you should not be concerned. Don't follow the images. Try to just be mindful. And anything that appears will disappear.
And most of the time, Prajans, when I do the sitting meditations, my hands quite when I don't know what happened. Already quite long time, my hands
feel tight. It feel tight.
No, sometimes my right hands can be like this. When just I realize already like this, should I?
That means you don't have mindfulness. Your mind then move your hands. But that's no problem. It's a very minor thing. You can ignore it.
So I ignore the positions.
Yeah,
so
just ignore.
Just
concentrate on your meditation.
On the meditations.
Because if you pay attention, then it will distract your mind.
Yes.
So don't worry about any position of the body. Once you have started meditation, forget about the body. Even if the body feel a little bit itchy here and there, just leave it alone. Don't try to scratch it. Yeah.
I see.
The more you scratch it, and the more you become involved with the body and not with your meditation.
Yes. Because some meditators told me that I have to move back my.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Yeah. Just concentrate on the mind.
Yeah. If you want to move back, it's okay. But if you keep doing this, then you will be distracted.
Okay.
If you don't want to be distracted, then just forget about the body.
That's my point.
Yeah. Okay.
So just regard it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you feel you might be leaning to the left, leaning to the right, leaning to the front or back. Don't try to move. Don't try to adjust it. Because when you do that, you'll keep adjusting.
Yeah. And
then you would not. You'll be distracted from your meditation.
Yep. Okay.
Once you start meditate, just be concentrating on your meditation object, and disregard everything else.
Okay.
Anything.
Okay.
Even something inside the mind come to distract you, don't follow it. You might see something or hear something inside. Don't be distracted. They are all distraction. Okay. They have no particular impact on your mind. They're just phenomena that rise and cease.
Okay. My wife asks if sometimes in meditations there are some lights like
the same
colors.
thing. Just ignore
Just
it.
ignore it.
Yeah,
regard
just
it.
concentrate on your breath or on your mantra, whatever you use to concentrate your mind. Yeah, don't bother. Leave it alone. If you become interested in them, you'll forget your meditation. Then you cannot move forward. Your meditation is like your car. See, when you want to travel from here to your house, you have to stay in the car. If you happen to go halfway and then something happen outside, something beautiful outside happen, so you get off the car and go see the beautiful thing, then you're not moving with it. You're not going anywhere. You get stuck there. So forget about everything. Only pay attention to your meditation's object.
But some meditators said that color is a casino objects.
So what? It doesn't. It's not what you want. You want calm. You want samadhi. Kasina is just something that you use as a tool to get there. But you cannot use two tools at the same time. You cannot use kasina and then use the breath. You have to choose one or the other. And when you start with one, you don't change. If you keep changing, then eventually you won't get anywhere.
Okay.
So ignore everything else.
Okay.
Just stick to your meditation object.
Okay.
Then your mind will eventually enter into samadhi.
Okay.
When it enters into samadhi, then you use mindfulness to keep it there as long as possible. No need to do any investigation or contemplation yet. Right now you want to establish mindfulness and samadhi to be strong first. So you try to do this for as long as possible until you become a proficient, until you can control your mind. You can stop your mind anytime. Then after that, when you come out of samadhi, then you can start contemplating. But don't contemplate when you're in samadhi, when the mind is calm. When the mind is calm, it's the time for the mind to rest and enjoy. When you want to make the mind work, you have to wait for it to come out of samadhi first. Then you can start directing the mind to investigate the nature of the body, for instance. Okay?
Okay.
All right.